れだよ、ワリオだよ。出るんだよ。その名はワリオランド。ゲームボーイで海賊相手に大暴れ。金貨いっぱいウハウハだよ。空飛び火を吐く。敵か味方かワリオ様の出番だよ。
ゲームボーイソフトスーパーマリオランド3ワリオラン
ド。ワリオもよろしくね。
So, a recent round of trademark filings by Nintendo included a Wario Land title, which has resulted in, of course, speculation in the Nintendo community that Nintendo may be working on a new Wario Land game. As always, these trademarks, they don't necessarily prove anything. These companies make these things all the time, sometimes just for renewal purposes. But there was that recent announcement of a new WarioWare game for the 3DS, which seemed kind of random to me. And we haven't seen an actual Wario Land game in quite some time. So since we don't have much to go off of in terms of will they, let's discuss should they. Years ago, Wario games were fairly common. He had a bit of a franchise going for himself. Being the opposite of Mario in terms of character traits, made for some cool possibilities in games that played very similar to the Mario games. Those Wario Land commercials, I always got a kick out of them as a kid. The one where he's hypnotizing you, I remember seeing that on TV seriously like it was yesterday.
Very greedy. You are me, Wario. You're very handsome. You have amazing powers. Plunder and pillage pirates' treasure. Bag up 1,000,000,000 coins. Buying me a castle bigger than Mario's.
But it's been a while since we've seen Wario get this sort of spotlight on him, which I think works for him in this case. While when other characters don't have a game come out for a while, they mostly go away, they get forgotten, but Wario has been a prominent fixture in all of the Mario spin-offs of the recent years. Fans both old and new are very familiar with this character, so it's not like you're just dusting off someone that players haven't seen in a long time. You're just featuring him in a way he hasn't been for a while. So that brings us to what sort of game should this be? I'd personally like to see a 3D platformer, more in the vein of Wario World on the GameCube. Maybe make the playstyle inspired by that, but open the game up more, perhaps pull from Super Mario Odyssey, with the bigger, sprawling levels. However, I wouldn't want to see Wario get, like, a Cappy-esque ability. I prefer seeing Wario get physical, tackling, throwing, pile-driving his enemies, etc. That's the stuff I like to see Wario doing. This way, you wouldn't have to probably build something completely new from the ground up. It could borrow a lot of resources from Odyssey. I don't think we need another side-scrolling platformer anytime soon. Unless this game, again, this is all speculation, but unless this game, if it is coming, it's far off. I mean, we just got Kirby All-Star Allies, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is making its way onto the Switch pretty soon, and that new Yoshi game is set for release this year, which is also going to be a side-scroller. I'm going to be side-scrolled out, I think, by the end of this year. However, if this does have to be a side-scroller, I would want it to stand out. Most of the side-scrollers we see today are more 3D games where you move on a 2D plane, but I'd like to see a more classic 2D cartoony art style if we're going to get a Wario Land side-scroller. Specifically like we saw in Wario Land Shake It. Do something like that, but now in HD. I think that would look amazing. Give it some of those animated cutscenes as well. And that's something that I think could still feel different, even if we're seeing a lot of similar games right now. Beyond that, I think if we're going to go through the trouble of doing a Wario Land game, we may as well get Waluigi on there somehow, right? If they're going to offer any sort of co-op, obviously, that's the character you'd want to have in there. If not, they could give him a sort of side story or side mode. Both Waluigi and Wario have their fan bases, and I think if you did a reveal for this Wario Land game and closed it out by teasing Waluigi also being playable, I think that a lot of people would freak out. We could get some really cool reaction videos, guys. Huh? Get some reactions? Maybe some reactions to the reactions? On top of all of that, if I had my input, if Nintendo wanted to take some advice from a real influencer, I I think it'd be cool for the physical release if they did something similar to New Super Luigi U on the Wii U. If you remember, the Wii U had those blue cases, but the physical release of Super Luigi U came in a green case with a green label on the sleeve, so it stood out among your other games. If we do get a Wario Land game on the Switch, I say same deal, have it packaged with a yellow Switch sleeve and label. It'd be especially cool since, the Switch games have red labels, which is the color we associate with Mario, so this could kind of be taken as a bit of an FU from Wario. Also, I'd bring back the old school ad style, like I referenced earlier. Have Wario going on about how Mario sucks and his game is better, how he wants to get all the coins and whatnot. I think it would be a cool change of pace from the Switch ads we typically get. So yeah, if it wasn't clear, I'm totally down for a new Wario Land game. The time is right, I feel, to bring this back. If they do it, I hope they do it big. Don't just treat this as some secondary title. Or at least give Wario himself the chance, like I said with some cool new ads, to tell the fans why he is the best. But with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know if you'd be down for a new Wario Land game in the comments. What would you like to see from this game if we do get it? As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.